Our session now is about domain names in Egypt. I'll talk in brief, I'll not go in detail because we don't have much time. We'll be discussing in this presentation why we should register our domain name, how to choose your domain name, conditions required for submitting the domain name, requirements for filing domain name in Egypt, and finally the Trademark Clearing House. I know I talk about part of your work. Okay. Why we should register our domain? First of all, the applicant should first know the difference between what is a website and what is a domain name. Website is the content of the website itself. It's the images, the videos, any information is inside this website. But the domain name is the address of this website. It's not important that I launch my website now or not. The most important is that I should now choose my name and start to registering it. To make sure that I will not lose my name or my brand by anyone else with whom will be registering the name. So when I'm going to choose my domain name, I'll see if it's my own business or not. I'll choose it upon this. If I'm publishing books on a website, my art, or I already have a brand or a product or products I'm going to sell or I'm working on, I should choose my domain upon this. I have to create my presence. How to choose the domain? If you have your own brand, so your domain name will be your brand or your trademark. The domain name should be attractive, should be unique, should be easy to spell or pronounce. The long domain names isn't catchy, either to the eye or catch to the mind. So I have to choose what is very easy to pronounce to anyone and what is easy to spell, and of course short. And we should avoid, if I don't have my brand, I should search first to avoid choosing any domain name which may infringe any trademark registration. Of course, there are some conditions that shouldn't be in the domain, but of course it shouldn't also be contrary to the public order or morality. And I think that the UN have their own conditions for this. And the domain name shouldn't contain any religious symbols or names as well. And the minimum letters for the domain should be 2. And if the client is non-residential in Egypt or don't have a business for at least 15 years in Egypt, he should have an agent to present him, which is called the local presence. Of course, we can register our domain name either from 1 year, 2 or 3 or 5 years. And of course, after this, it can be renewed either for 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 years. What is required the documents required for registration of the domain name? Of course, we require a copy of the commercial register of the client or his certificate of incorporation that indicates the full name of the client, because the name of the domain should be similar to the name of the company. And if not, we will need what will be a proof that this applicant should be registering this domain name to avoid also any infringement. This evidence could be a trademark. As an example, in the second level domain names with .eg, there should be a valid trademark registration to be able to file under the second level domains. And this trademark should be valid, either filed international in Egypt through the Egyptian Trademark Office or through WIPO designating Egypt. It's not also sufficient to be only in WIPO, no. It should be designating Egypt as well. And of course, mass registrations is now, we are in the phase of first come, first serve. There are no restrictions. For the Trademark Clearing House, of course, the Trademark Clearing House is a very important database for trademark, for brand owners especially. It arose due to the large expansion of the number of GTLDs, and of course, Dr. Luca will talk this in details. Now, the number of these GTLDs exceeded the 1,500 new GTLDs, so the brand owner should be protected against this huge number of GTLDs. So they decided to create this trademark clearing house for all brand owners to put in this database their trademark information. And then in the sunrise phase or period, before launching the domain or even the GTLDs or during this period, any interested applicant receive the alert that this domain will not be applicable because there is a trademark registration, or in this trademark clearing house there is a registration which is similar to this domain name. If this applicant proceeded and registered his domain, still the trademark owner will receive an alert also that there is a registration which infringes your trademark. And there is here a copy of the request submitted to the Egyptian Universities Network that, as for us as an adjunct, we are agents for our clients. So the client provides us with something like a request letter to submit to the EUN that he is authorizing adjunct to register his domain name in Egypt, or even handling his domain name by transferring from other agents to us. And also, of course, when I choose my domain name and proceeding with the registration, I have to provide the domain name office with the domain name, the applicant full name and address, and of course the name servers for the domain name to be activated. Otherwise, it will only be reserved but not active.
So that means that parking domains is available.
Yeah. Sorry?
She's asking about parking domains.
Yes. That's what we said, that it's not important that you are launching your domain now. The more important is to reserve your name, to avoid any infringement from any other people. Especially we see this in .Masr. Many of our applicants reserving only domain names since it launched in 2010, and nobody is using. Few clients are using it now, but they're not with this amount. That's for me. I'm done now, and if anyone have any questions, because we don't want to take from the other presentations. Any questions? Thank you.
Yeah.